gonna hit
pause.
You're gonna hit
pause
and have a podcast.
I pronounced the word pause in a really weird way.
I don't know where you're from.
So I'm Iman.
And I'm David.
And this week we are talking about H3H3 Productions.
Nice. And normally on this kind of thing that we're doing, we bring up YouTubers that we both like. But sometimes we bring up YouTubers that one of us may not like.
Ooh, who's it gonna be?
Which isn't this one.
No. So, I mean, I am kind of a fan of H3 generally, but I also don't agree. I don't agree with a lot of stuff they do, and I like them less in recent times.
Yeah, because I'm also new to them, so obviously my go-to is look at the most recent. But I can tell that a lot of their stuff came from like a good, history of like support from the fans and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess let's get into who they are, what made them.
Okay, so H3 are basically a duo of Ethan Klein and his girlfriend, waifu now, who is named Gila. So Gila Klein, I guess. And they pretty much started out making. They used to make a lot of like gaming content, I think. They've also worked with JonTron as well. Ethan is quite good friends with JonTron. They used to do a lot more kind of sketch comedy.
Yeah, I've noticed.
More recently, they tend to be doing more drama videos, about drama.
Yeah, and then like commentary stuff.
Yeah, commentary.
And then like talk about other YouTubers.
Exactly. So they'll go and find like a weird channel, a cringy channel, and talk about it. So I've got the little fact file here, subscriber fact file. So their main channel is H3H3 Productions, and it has 4.9 million.
So close to that 5.
I know, so close. But all their channels are super close. Listen, 4.9, okay? In fact, probably since I wrote this, it's probably hit that 5. Let's check it out.
No, H3 is 4.95, so 4,950,000.
Oh man, that is close. Yeah. So they have, that's their main channel. They also have a vlogs channel, which is called Ethan and Gila.
Just for them.
That's got 1.8 million. Those videos are kind of chill. Like I quite like them. It's kind of sad, but they're just kind of a cute couple.
Yeah, that was the first thing I was gonna say. We have seen, there's not that many, but there are definitely couple. Like there's couples on the internet, but there's couples that work together for a channel. Yeah, and like I don't know, Video Game Donkey is a guy who makes games, does commentary over games in a funny kind of way. He's kind of unique, but then he also has his girlfriend. They don't collab too much, so you would call it his channel. She has her channel, but the few that actually work together and like make videos together, feature together, it's rare and it's kind of nice, and adorable to see.
But with Donkey, on her channel, they do a lot of stuff together. Yeah, or it's more just like feet Donkey. You know? It's like he kind of is in the video a bit, but it's not the main thing. And
sometimes doesn't want to be in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of the chill things that it's like nice to sit back on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And watch. Yeah.
And then they have one more channel, which is relatively new, which is the H3 podcast.
Which is doing really well.
Which is doing well.
Well, depends what.
Considering it's new, but it's got 936K.
Yeah.
So almost at 1 million, which is good.
I think what I kind of meant to say was because they're like making videos on their main channel a little less frequently, their podcasts have been very like consistent.
Yeah, they have. I think they're really from what I can tell, they've put a lot of money into it and they're really putting a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, some could say we are too.
Here on our wood table budget setup, but it's funny because the podcast, like, they've got a whole set.
Yeah, they got a whole. That's why, because I think the first time I ever saw them, it's actually not their like trademark popular videos, was a podcast. I was like, wow, this is they must be really into it.
Yeah, exactly. Got the logo on the wall, and they get people. They only ever do their podcasts face to face with people, which is a nice touch.
Wait, who doesn't?
Lots of people.
So
lots
you mean
of
like
people,
Skype
like the guests. Yeah, whenever they get guests on.
Point.
But this they was getting face to face. So I don't know. Maybe are they paying to fly people out? Like it's kind of
Well, then again, maybe are they not in like LA where most people will find a way to be around?
I guess so. Yeah. So anyway, but despite all like the production quality, I don't think they're very good podcasters.
Do you know what?
Like Ethan is not great. I mean, what can we say? But Ethan,
I think Ethan he's alright.
You think
he's not the best?
He's a bit. I don't know.
He's an interviewer rather than
he's okay at interviewing and making sure the guests get to speak, but I don't know. It's always. I think it's always the sign off that does it. Yeah. Like he always has this really weak sign off.
Let's actually talk about Ethan for a while. Okay. So first thing, I think. If we're gonna continue on the podcast bit, some people have a bit of a charisma. So like Zach Slang, who did the Poppy interview. I forget what his name is. Zach Slang or something like that. Okay. Anyway, but he's got like a bit of charisma and it's like very entertaining to listen to. You're not just listening to the guest. For Ethan's thing, it's like I'm just there for the guest. But then the one thing that that like balances it out is like he's got this little twitch thing on his eye.
With his eyebrows.
Yeah.
I love his eyebrows.
I love it. That's what I look at all the time.
They are so entertaining. But yeah, he's better when he's doing his like funny thing.
Yeah, I think so.
When he's kind of acting
or when he
silly.
busts out of character, and like just does whatever, like when he dances for random reasons, Podcast wise, it's pretty.
It is still a good podcast, though. I will say that. So let's get into it. Do you have any specific videos you want to talk about?
Okay, I know at some point we'll talk about like the popular stuff like the Vape Nation that you made me watch, which by the way
you watch. That's an entertaining video. I've done you a favor.
You've done me a favor. By the way, for anyone else who's listening, I think my YouTube craving has come literally from Iman, from you just like, oh, you should check this video out, and then like after a while I'm just investigating.
Bro, I got you on that Jontron.
Yeah.
I got you on that donkey.
Yep, then Poppy.
I got you on that Poppy.
I still remember that day. You just showed me one video. I was like, oh yeah, that's interesting. And then I tell you 2 days later, I've watched every video.
I literally one, and then, out of nowhere, and then whole thing. I'm completely Poppy brain dead. Like.
And then Jake Paul just showed me the song. Now I subscribed to him recently. Like, yep, done. So like this one, it's like I need to calm down. But no.
But this one, you say you don't really like.
Yeah, I think we'll go into like the recent stuff he's been doing. So like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, maybe I'm a bit of a Jake Pauler. I feel like his a lot of his videos recently have been about Jake Paul, and he feels like he's the daddy, and he's like telling Jake Paul how to behave and what he's doing wrong. One of the big ones was one of his videos called Jake Paul doxed or whatever. Basically, Jake Paul did something which he admitted was bad.
Jake Paul doxes Post Malone.
Yeah, he recorded a video at Post Malone's house showing their dress, and like that's something you don't do, like especially for big people. And so he called him out on it, and it's just like going in hard. It's like I felt like his whole video was just him bigging up himself. Like it wasn't solving a point other than to ridicule somebody else, which is kind of like not the vibe I thought I'd get from like a 40-year-old kind of guy. But then that's the whole daddy thing he's trying to do. So yeah, that really put me in a bad place.
Out of the law, so he's got 16 out of 16 videos I can see here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 about Jake Paul, with Jake Paul in the title, and 1 about his brother Logan Paul. Like he is even this one that he's got the Viner invasion of 2017,
which is true by all means. It is a violent invasion this year, but I feel like his videos are I don't want to say profiting. His videos are like benefiting from other people. rather than I'm not seeing them. I'm seeing them work off other people.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's actually what I think. I really feel that H3 has changed their tactic in over the past year or so, from being a kind of original comedy, kind of silly stunts and sketch comedy, which is really entertaining, to being much more let's get views off the back of other people, say Jake Paul or something. And it's like they're one of the people that have been hit really hard by what the YouTubers call the adpocalypse.
Oh yeah,
which is where YouTube basically changed their rules around ads so that brands had much more control over the type of content that their ads were shown against. And essentially anything that was seen as, undesirable, which means anything that even has like swearing in, it barely takes anything.
Yeah. And they do swear in theirs.
Yeah. So anything like that basically will automatically get fewer ads because less advertisers want to be seen on it, and therefore they will make less money. So I kind of feel that more than with other YouTubers, I feel that H3 is purely here for the money. Like, I don't begrudge him that. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
But you get some YouTubers, say Donkey or something, where it's like their focus is they want to make good content.
Yeah.
They want to make entertaining good content, and they're not going to cash grab at the easy money.
Yeah.
And again, like, I don't blame H3 for that because, whatever. At the end of the day, it's just YouTube, right? He just wants to make some money. But it definitely feels more like that. It's shallow.
Yeah.
Not to say that I don't find his videos entertaining. Like, some of them are really entertaining.
Yeah, some of them are interesting. Yeah, but recently, again, maybe I just need more time watching the old videos to see where like all the good nostalgia comes from. That obviously it's got like 5 million. There's a lot of subscribers. I'm sure they're not all just from like keep hating on all these YouTubers he talks about. Exactly.
So, like, for example, we got Vape Nation, which was just this sketch comedy about this guy who loves to vape.
When you showed me that one, I was a little lost, but slowly I got into it.
Dude, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it is pretty funny, actually.
Vape Nation, y'all.
What he's wearing is definitely cosplayable.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That would be a good cosplay.
You need the belly. I got like a 6-pack, so I can't do
it. It might be a podcast, but you're not getting away with that. There is no 6-pack on this man.
Insert image here.
Yeah. So tell me a little more about like why you kind of dislike H3 at the moment. Because I can go either way, to be honest.
I could go either way too, to be honest. Because like the lawsuit one, that was a big day and a big step for like, I guess, the YouTube community. Because like Philip DeFranco and other people got involved. Like, fair use should be taken more seriously.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what happened with this was they took the piss out of another YouTuber, right? And basically called him out on a bunch of like, this guy is such an idiot.
And I actually, because they re-uploaded that, the video is called The Big, Bold and Beautiful, something like that. You'll find it on their channel. And seeing the original, and like, sure, they were taking the piss, but they actually said they really like this guy's content and hope he keeps making more and encourages the viewers to go check his channel. The fact that guy, I forget what his name is, took this to a lawsuit is crazy.
Yeah, so this was Matt Losszone,
yes,
who I don't really know as a YouTuber, but he does this. He made this video that was called Bold Guy, and it was him going around just acting really kind of misogynistic, kind of awkward, just going up to girls and like, what was it? It was like demanding. It was like how to kiss a girl and stuff like that, like demanding kisses and stuff. And it was just bad, like funny in a this is so dumb, ridiculous, what a horrible person kind of way. But they made a video about it. He then sued them, saying, "Hey, you can't use my content like this." And H3, like, they have some money, but they literally had to go to Kickstarter or GoFundMe or something. They had to crowdsource money.
Yeah, because it cost them like 100,000.
Yeah, in legal fees just to beat this guy. So they've actually won the lawsuit quite recently, which is really good for them and for, because, like you said, for fair use.
There's a lot worse reaction videos that don't get taken down, where you put the whole video in like the top corner and then you just like have some reactions that might not even have any words in it. So that I can understand if people complain, because it's like, well, now people are not going to go to my channel because they watched it on yours. H3 took like barely anything out of the video. People would still go to that guy's channel to watch the full thing.
Exactly.
So, yeah, they were always in the right. And that's kind of good. But then there's stuff that I don't like about. And it definitely leads more towards that Jake Paul thing. Maybe just hit home. Because, I love the guy. Where they're bringing up... Because they brought him to a podcast after calling him out. Which is also weird.
Okay, now I want to give some respect to both H3 and Jake Paul for that. Yeah. So H3 did a bunch of videos about Jake Paul, like, I can't believe he doxed Post Malone, like, and this guy is so ridiculous.
And his music video, which we did.
Taking the piss out of his music video. Hey, fair enough, but then he invited Jake Paul on the podcast to come and... He basically saying, like, look, we took the piss out of you, like, come and talk about it, it's fair enough. Like, he's not hating, he's not... They're taking the piss out of it, but they're not saying, hey, we don't want to talk to you. It's like, he's kind of being fair enough.
Yeah.
And then Jake Paul actually accepted, which, again, like, good job. And the reason he said it was like, look, I don't care about people taking the piss out of me. You guys were actually funny with it, and you actually called me out on a bunch of stuff, which is like, I can take it. So fair play to both of them. Yeah. But anyway, sorry, go on.
And so, like, leading up to that podcast, some of the videos, I think it was the grammar one, where they were just, like, insulting, rightfully so, some of the stuff they called out, like, some of the grammar Jake Paul was using or something like that was, like, really off. But it's the means or the way Ethan was doing it was, like, it was just getting too personal rather than pointing out facts. So it was just, like, unnecessary. It was almost to try and show the audience Jake Paul isn't as good as you think he is, or he's actually a terrible person, when the video should have just been about, look at the mistakes he made. You know what I mean?
I agree. I actually agree with you. Like, I think the thing I don't like about H3 recently is the hypocrisy. Like, he's quite hypocritical with what he does. Like, so for example, he had this big argument with Leafy. I mean, I will never defend Leafy in my life, because Leafy is an absolute horrible person and has the lowest of the low kind of content. Basically, Leafy just goes on YouTube, takes the piss out of people that can't defend themselves. He just picks on the absolute weakest people and just absolutely rips them to shreds so unnecessary. He'll find someone that is in a wheelchair, has Down syndrome.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. He'll find he's found in the past a YouTuber that has Down syndrome, is putting out videos, for fun, like, because he wants to, because that's his right, because why shouldn't he?
Yeah.
And so he'll go and take the piss out of these people, and it's like, yeah, it's really awful, like, hurtful stuff. It's not nice. Anyway, he says, in this video about Leafy, he basically says, I can't believe Leafy, his content, all he does is take the piss out of people. But actually, H3, that's what you do, man. Like, that's a lot of what you do. And sure, there's one thing being funny, like taking Jake Paul's video and ripping it apart, because it is stupid and it is funny to do that. But then, like you said, if he starts getting personal and, like, trying to show, like,
he's trying to downplay him, try to, like, undersell.
Yeah,
rather
exactly.
Than just take it out of it.
And we know you're only putting up videos about Jake Paul because they get views.
Exactly.
That's why there's so many of them. I mean, and the view counts tell the real story. They each have, each of the Jake Paul ones have 5.8, 6.6, 5 million. Like, they each have 1 million or more views than his other normal content.
Yeah, because deep down you know that you talking about it for whatever reason good intentions or bad are gonna get you attention on the channel.
Yeah.
So why stop?
It's kind of cheap in that sense. It's like it's cheap content, shallow content. Yeah. Now I'll give him the on the podcast. It's a bit more quality. You know, it's original content. You know, he's actually interviewing people. Like his interview with Donkey recently.
I like that. Couple,
I loved it.
Couple v couple.
It was like the first kind of time we've really got a decent interview with Donkey. Like actually got to hear what he has to say. Actually got stuff about himself.
Although the podcast, sorry to bring it back, but the podcast with H3 and Jake Paul was also really good to see that somebody could go that far and like really drill. Like he went on to a point. I was like, okay, cool. So you, Jake Paul, it's like, okay, you blurred out his number plate, but you showed all this. What were your intentions? Like, he was really drilling Jake, and Jake handled it pretty well.
He did, and again, part of that, I like the way Jake Paul handled that. Yeah. Part of that video, though, made me dislike H3. I'll tell you why.
But then the funny thing is, and I've seen it in a lot of videos, it's also, maybe it's related to the cash grabbing thing, but then they're also friends. Post Malone and him are friends, I get it.
Yeah.
But he's like using that as a stepping stone to like, oh, I have a reason to call him out because, you know, he's my friend.
Because he's my friend, yeah. I'm just trying to defend my friend. It's like, no, man.
Have you heard about my friend? His name's Post Malone. Yeah. He's my friend. Have you heard about him?
By the way, did you know I'm friends with Post Malone?
The guy who sings?
Yeah.
That's
but, okay, so in the interview with Jake Paul, one of the things he says is about the blurring. Like, basically, what Jake Paul did, after he got called out, he was like, look, fair enough, I shouldn't have showed the guy's house. So he went into the YouTube editor and he edited the video, which was uploaded, to blur out that stuff.
Yeah.
H3 was like, oh, you can't just do that. That's such weak... I don't know what his argument was. He was like, that's such weak blurring technology. That's so poor.
And then I think afterwards, Jake maybe missed something. And then H3 were like, well, that bit's still in there. And then Jake actually wanted to, but then after a certain amount of views, you can't. And then they were like, so why did you take it down? Which is a fair question. But if Post Malone doesn't ask Jake to, and Jake Paul, like he hilariously answered, it's every day I can't. Said, like, I can't because then...
Well, it's every day, bro. Like, what do you mean?
That's what I stand for.
Exactly. So. It's like, it's Post Malone's problem at this point. So you don't need to get involved, H3. But, so H3 said, oh, you use the YouTube editor to do this. Like, that's so poor. But Jake's response was, yeah, but dude, when you put up your video calling me out, that's exactly what you did. Yeah. That's what H3 did. He showed some of Jake Paul's video and he blurred out using the YouTube editor the house and stuff. So it's like he's done the exact same thing, and H3 kind of locked up when Jake said that. It was like, well, it's like, well, you're being hypocritical.
The hypocritical thing again. But
I just think he was clutching at straws to try and
and like
call him out
in public as well. Like, here, I'm going to show you that Jake Paul's a fraud. I'm going to catch him out. Yeah, it's like that was the intention of the interview rather than let's resolve it. Mm-hmm. But
okay, let's talk about some of the videos that you do like.
Oh, that I do. Oh, that's going to be tricky.
Do you have to? I mean, okay, you can keep. If you got another one that you really, anything else you really.
No, because then like after I watched that Big Bold and whatever, I did like their commentary of stuff. What ones have I seen? Well, they're all like Jake Paul-ish ones. Oh, Pepsi Saves the World. I remember that one. And the Prank Invasion one. They've got... It's just... I feel like they're videos that you watch, but there's not... Like, I don't take that much home with me. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of get that. Even to be honest, like some of the reaction videos I find quite entertaining. Let me see. There was one where they found a really cringy, weird channel that basically dissects gummy bears and things like that.
That sounds like a channel for me.
I mean, yeah, that's all this guy does. Dissect gummy bears with a scalpel and things. And he does this freaky voice, and I mean it is freaky, creepy, and hearing H3 take the piss out of it, it's like it was actually pretty funny. It was kind of quite. It was like, fair enough. This was genuinely the creepiest channel ever. I'm just trying to find what that one's called.
What do you think of where's Hila from? I can't really get.
She's from Israel.
Ah, okay.
I think,
Yeah, I couldn't really gauge what her prior accent was.
Yeah, she got a really interesting name. I like her name.
Yeah,
Hila.
Yeah, it's a good name.
It's cool. Yeah, so is it, are there any that you actually liked, or any more that you like particularly hated?
Man, I feel like I'm not going to give you the answer you want to hear, but
fair enough.
I think neither. They're just they're watchable, but everyone's got their taste. I guess I'm more interested in like the story behind them, the stuff that comes up in other people's news, but the actual videos, I've seen them, but I couldn't say, oh yeah, that one got me.
Yeah.
What would you say is like your top two? Because I guess Vape Nation's one of them.
Well, I mean, Vape Nation is the one that kind of really got me into it. Yeah. But even now, I don't watch all of them. I watched a bit of the Jake Paul ones, get those views, but it's not the absolute best stuff. And I'll give you one thing that I think he is good at doing is calling YouTube out on its bullshit. Yeah. Because YouTube has this history. I mean, YouTube as the company has this history of changing rules arbitrarily and basically screwing over people that make content. So there was the whole adpocalypse, which I think we spoke about in the last episode. Or maybe it was this episode. And recently he did one about the YouTube rules and what you can and can't talk about. Yeah.
Which is actually really informative as well. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, yeah. So there's that kind of content, which is actually, it's investigative journalism. Yeah,
exactly.
Almost.
Which I think he's really good at. Like his opinions, I'm actually interested in.
Yeah, exactly. And he puts in the research, and he broke the whole gambling scandal. Like there was this whole CS:GO gambling scandal. About that. He's the one that broke that story a while back. Again, he basically called out all these Counter-Strike players who had been pushing gambling websites to young kids, and there were some of them that were involved in the websites, like they had, they owned the websites and things. So it's there was a lot of dodgy stuff going on, but he is good at that kind of investigative stuff. But yeah, shall we move on to the quiz?
Yeah, why not?
Quiz time.
Should they have a child soon? Can't wait.
a little healer and Ethan baby.
Yeah, I remember them calling in response to Jake Paulers. It was they're the Kleiners, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go on to the questions. So I've done 5, just like the last episode we had. See if you can guess. All right. First one is.
So this is real or fake on the comments, by the way.
Yes. So you're gonna guess which one you think I did versus which is the top comment in certain videos. So the first one is, I miss the old style, but keep it up, guys.
That's a fake.
Damn, how did you...
Too easy, bro.
You don't believe that could be a top comment?
No, it was just too... it was too in line with what we've been talking about.
Oh, well, it's not like I wrote it now or anything. Alright, second one. You two are just adorable.
Ooh, okay. I can't see that being the top comment. But they did do that video. They've done a couple videos that are our engagement or how we met.
Yeah, that one. Even the lawsuit one where they worked clearly together and then they had a little dance at the end. This is the thing we never thought we'd get to.
Okay, I'm going to say that one's real.
No, you're wrong. You're on the right track because it would be a comment, but it wouldn't be a top comment. Come on, it's 2017.
It's 2017, yeah.
No one cares about what's adorable or not.
Yeah.
So you got one. Okay. I never thought I'd cringe so much in my life.
Oh, that's not a top comment. No, fake.
No, it's real.
Wow, what a bad comment.
It's from the 34-year-old virgin video, one of the recent ones. Probably that was the cringeworthy thing because 34 apparently is really old.
Yeah.
Cool. So still on the one. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Hashtag daddy.
Hashtag daddy. Oh man. Real.
You are right.
Yes.
Can you? I don't know if you can
tell
guess.
why. Okay, wait. Guessed video.
That would be tricky because considering there's so many about the person we're obviously talking about.
Oh! One of the Jake Paul videos.
Yeah, because he believes he's the. Does he say it to other people? Like, I'll be your daddy. I'm going to tell you how to act. Because he does that to Jake Paul a lot. Like, this is what you should do. You need a dad. Your parents.
I don't know. I don't know. I've just seen him do this to Jake Paul. Also, funnily enough, Jake Paul in his recent video calling out calling out rice gum.
Yeah.
He says, "I'm going to be your daddy."
And iDubbbz is your mommy.
iDubbbz is your mommy. Yeah. And then by the end of the video, he's like, "Actually, you know what? Logan's going to be your daddy, and I'm going to be your daddy. You got two daddies."
You're welcome.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
So I like that he's taken that. Actually, you know, it's kind of funny.
That was from the Jake Paul corrects grammar video. Yeah, somebody clearly. Yeah. And then the last one is, I'll work at McDonald's for the rest of my life. Respect.
Say that again.
I'll work at McDonald's for the rest of my life. Respect.
What has that got to do with anything?
That's the thing. I'm very random. But so is the internet.
That makes me think it's probably... I'm kind of metagaming this. That makes me think it's probably real because you wouldn't come up with something so random. You'd come up with something that kind of sounded more relevant.
So I would be risk adverse and random. No.
You would be more realistic. You would be more relevant with your fake one. Mm-hmm. So that makes me think it's real. Let me hear it once more.
I'll work at McDonald's for the rest of my life. Respect.
Was there a hashtag in there?
No, it was a comma.
Just respect. Okay, I say it's real.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. That was from some prank invasion. The video is called Prank Invasion Starts World War III. I didn't actually watch the full thing.
Good research.
You're welcome. So, equal to what you got, ish. Because 3 out of 5 is like what you got out of 10.
In the previous one.
Yeah, so, nice.
These... Consistently better than David, is what we're trying to say.
You could say that. You could say that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Any thoughts on who we would do next?
So I think that next episode is going to be about JonTron.
Nice.
JonTron is a gaming YouTuber. Well,
whoa! Save the info.
Okay. I know, but I just want to give a little taste. Anyway, he's a comedy YouTuber. Mm-hmm. He does lots of sketches, very high quality content. Really recommend watching a few videos, but we'll be talking about him next week.
And hey, we're both a fan this time.
We're both a fan, yeah. Big fans as well. Mm-hmm. Spoilers. Okay. Well, this has been the Hit Pause podcast with...
you hit me.
With some stupid guy making puns with claps.
Yep.
And me, Iman. Otherwise known, and you are otherwise known as...
David. Yeah.
All right. Signing off.
See you guys.